Hey friend, welcome. If we haven't met yet, I'm Jen. I'm a part-time online clothing reseller, which means I go to thrift stores, I buy used clothes, I list them on eBay and Poshmark, and hopefully sell them for a profit. Today I am shipping the item singular that sold on the 26th. This is actually the only item that sold on the 25th or the 26th, which is Monday and Tuesday. This is gonna have like three little parts. One, I'm gonna talk specifically about this item. Two, I'm gonna talk about the brand of this item. And three, I'm gonna complain a little. I'm gonna complain a little bit. I'm gonna talk about some realistic things and then hopefully give some encouragement. We'll see. That's the hope. That's the plan. Because I like to be positive and encouraging, and sometimes I don't feel it. Today I don't feel it. So this is what sold on Poshmark. This is a little tweed coat. It has, oh my word, look at this little cute bow on the back. It's like a little, pea coat. Has gold buttons with little, I don't know, like a little crest on it. Pretty cute. And then this is the same brand, and this is just a little, I don't even know what you would call this. Is this a trench coat? That's the word I was looking for. Double-breasted. This one's much lighter weight, like a cotton something or other. Also has these little gold buttons, trim. They're both in the same brand, but I'm gonna show you both tags because they're very different. This one is new with tags, but it has some stuff on it. So yeah, I'll tell you the whole story. So this is the brand Janie and Jack. And then here's this tag. I don't know if that's a vintage tag or just an older tag, but this is a kids brand. It's kind of an expensive kids brand, especially like as a mom when I think about what kind of money I want to spend on my kids, but we'll talk about that in a minute. I have had this coat for a long time. I don't even know where I got it. And I actually took it out of my inventory when I did the inventory purge in the beginning of the year. So I took out all the things that I listed in like 2023 and just kind of to give myself some more space, because at that point I was running out of space. I think currently I have just under 1,100 items. I was at 1,300 plus at that point, and I got down to like under right around 900, I think, at that point. So I do not sell as much as I list, which I wish that was different. So anyway, I had that little kind of tweed pea coat, delisted it, hung onto it because I thought it was so cute, and I just like moved it from spot to spot when it was in my way, and I really was just trying to decide what to do with it. There's like a kids consignment sale in my area. I had a friend that just had a baby girl, and I thought, oh, maybe I would give it to her, but it's not really her style, and like literally just had the baby girl. I don't want to give her a gift she has to store for 2 years. You know, these are 2T coats. So then I went to the bins and found this navy one and realized they were the same size. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna lot them together and see what happens, especially after I saw that the white trim had some like discoloration on it. It may come off in the wash, but I don't know. Anyway, a Janie and Jack coat has an average sale price of $23.22 with a 4% sell-through rate. That's a really low sell-through rate. If you don't know, that means 4% of all the Janie and Jack coats that got listed sold. That's not good. So, you know, lotting them together, I priced them at $40, thinking $20 for each coat. And then I sent out 20% off offers. I use Prime Lister to do that, which is how I share my Poshmark closet. And so they sold for $32 and they sold in 6 weeks. The other one had been listed for a really long time. That like little tweed peacoat. So I'm really, really pleased with this. Especially, you know, it's for me, a bigger sale and a little bigger profit, considering it's the only thing that sold in 2 days. So my profit after, let's see, I have $2 average cost. It's actually less than that at the bins, which is the Goodwill outlet where you pay by the pound. And I did not write down what my cost was on the peacoat. I will tell you that kids' clothes, I don't pay much for. I don't remember where I got it at all. So, but like consistently over the almost 4 years that I've been reselling, I don't pay much money for kids' clothes. I can't think of a single time that I've paid for more than $2 or $3 for kids' clothes. Anyway, my profit is $23.60, which is great. So, school's in session. Not at my house yet. We're getting there. We're getting close. We're going to start on Tuesday. But I'm doing a little bit of learning on my own here and sharing it with you. So we're doing a little bit of brand research. And so since Janie and Jack was the only thing I sold, we're going to go Janie and Jack again, which is kind of funny because the last video I did, was that Monday? I'm so confused with time. The last video I did was a kids brand also. So Janie and Jack, according to their website, it says they're a design house with every kid at its heart. They focus on signature fabrics, one-of-a-kind print, and details. And you can definitely see that in like the trim and the gold buttons. They mentioned like eyelet and embroidery. They do sell boys and girls clothes. Usually from baby to the couple things I clicked on, the biggest size was like a 10-12, but their website says they sell up to 18. I would say that like primarily they're like baby toddler. That's what I see. Now it's been a few years since I've been in a store, but that's generally what I have seen in the past and what I see like even when I go through what's sold is baby and toddler. And actually, man, I always think as I'm talking through this, I always think of more things I could have clicked on and researched and checked. And I probably could have, when I get to the end of this here, I go through some of the sell-through rates. And one of the things I probably could have narrowed down was like sell-through rate for baby, sell-through rate for toddler, sell-through rate for kids. I didn't do that. Anyway, maybe another time. When I look on their website, I was just looking at things that were available for sale. Their t-shirt was $32, a dress was $69. There was a headband for $19, a pair of tights for $25. The most expensive thing was a puffer coat for $126. They had the Snow White cape that I think was like not for a costume, but like as a coat for $89. Pretty cute. It was started in 2002 in San Francisco. It looks like maybe it was part of Gymboree for a while, and then somebody went bankrupt. I couldn't tell if it was Janie and Jack or Gymboree, but it got bought by Gap in 2019, and then in 2021, an investment firm bought it called Go Global Retail. It is still a website. There are still brick and mortar stores. They're usually in a mall. There's one in the mall in Indianapolis, in Indiana, where I live, and it is in the same mall that has like Lululemon and Aritzia and those kind of brands. So it's not in the mall with the Old Navy and the Kohl's, which, that mall's a couple miles down from the other mall. All right. When I look through comps, I look on eBay on the research seller, product research tool. There we go. The product research tool, it's in the eBay seller hub. Across the top, it says research, and you can pop down and it'll say research, product research, I think is what it says. And I just looked up Janie and Jack, very basic. I looked through sell-through rate and it was 8.66%. Very low. Average sale price is $18.02. I did like to filter through highest to lowest. The highest thing that sold was like this rare gold tulle dress that sold for $450. Similar to Gymboree, I don't know. I loved this brand when my kids, especially my older girls, my oldest was born in 2007. And I loved this brand. I could never afford it. But sometimes I would find it in the thrift store or like a buy sell trade store, and I love this. But similar to Gymboree, like their lines are named. And so there's a yacht party dress that sold for, there were two of them, one sold for $250 and one for $190. There was a giraffe sunset dress that sold for $140. And then most of the larger sales, like the higher priced sales, were lots, sets, more than one item together. And the other thing that I saw a lot of, hey kiddo, why do you have a box? There's stuff in the box?
For you
from our neighbor.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I have
Excuse
this for
us.
school?
You may have that for school. Yes. Great. Calculator for school.
I have these.
I don't know what that is. What is it?
They're like necklaces and bracelets.
No, they're bookmarks, babe.
Oh.
Yeah, bookmarks. Bookmarks are good. You like to read books.
And scissors and foam.
And scissors and foam. Oh. Well, I love that. I always need scissors. Oh, these are like pinking shears. Hearthside.
And then I got
those
this
out.
for me.
Are they craft scissors? They're not really pinking shears. I don't know what
Mom.
they are. And then
I
you got
got
that
this
for
for
me. And some foam. This is my neighbor sending me
Can I
packing
get
supplies. So
Can
sweet.
you pause real quick?
I can pause. Yes. Back to it. There was a set the table dress that had like an apron on it that sold for $110. There was a tulip dress and a rose dress. One sold for $90 and one for $85. For the boys, they do sell boys' clothes. There was a blue velvet suit that sold for $72. And then there was a Moana Wayfinder dress that sold for $57. So they do have collabs, which would be like Disney. The one I saw the most of was American Girl. And that actually had a much better sell-through rate at 24%. And the average sale price was $28.39. So my thought on that for myself, you can do what you want with that information, but as I find it, if I find a Disney collab, if I find a dress that's a little bit over the top, if I find an American Girl collab, I'm gonna look them up. As far as, you know, if I find just little pieces, maybe if I find a bunch, I said this with Iviva too the other day, if I find, you know, a bunch in the same size, yeah, maybe I would lot those together and try to sell them for $20 or $30. But as far as, you know, other than that, like I'm probably not going to spend, you know, $5 on a Janie and Jack shirt to resell, because I don't think that it will sell very quickly, if at all. And even, you know, that coat that was so beautiful never sold. I probably had it overpriced. I don't remember what I had it priced at, but anyway, that's that. So now we've come to the complaining part of the video. I have not had, so I had one sale in the last 2 days. I think the 2 days prior to that, I had 3 days prior to that. I don't remember. But I have not had a single sale on eBay in 5 full days. I don't really know what's happening. I wrote some notes on the back of my thing that I then put in here. What did I do with it? Oh, it's right here in front of my face. Yeah, I've got to do something different, right? And I don't know what to do. I feel like I've done, other than I've not run a sale, but I've done all the all the right things that I think I'm supposed to do. So, I switched up a couple days ago. I switched up my promotion rate and actually bumped it up to 5%, which it's not really been to 5% in a while. I have a coupon on my store. I take offers. I have best offer on, I think, all of my items. Maybe one or two don't have it. Yeah, so I'm kind of at a loss of like, what am I doing? I know that, the first part of the month I completely took off and did not list anything. I'm wondering if maybe it's just repercussions of that in the past. Let's see, we got home on the 11th. In that first, kind of week after I got home, I was real inconsistent with listing. But over the past week and a half, I've been very consistent, listing 10 items a day. Cross-listing, that doesn't really affect eBay so much. But delisting and relisting, which who knows if that's actually helpful or not, I don't know. But aside from just like putting it on a sale, I really don't know what else to do. And I'm kind of at a loss. I look at YouTube for help from people who've been doing this longer than me or make a lot more money than I do. And it's so confusing because I see, a lot of like, you have total control over what you can make. It's all about your listings and the last few days I have listed some really incredible things that are kind of shocking to me that I found, and some like just good bread and butter, right? Some things that are just kind of average, normal, but then like, I hate the term more substantial. I hear that all the time. More substantial piece. What does that mean? Well, to me, that means like, outerwear or like a maxi dress or something with really good materials like silk or linen or wool. And anyway, some really cool like vintage things. And so I feel like I should be getting some sales because of that, even though the first part of the month was off. So I hear, like, oh yeah, you're not going to sell anything if all your inventory is crap. Well, I mean, my inventory is pretty basic, most of it, but I do have some really good items in here. I have some really great sweaters left that, didn't sell last season. So I feel like, you hear me say my sell-through rates every day. When I do the shipping, I know that my sell-through rates are low on most of the items that I have, but those still sell. And so it seems to me like some of those should still be selling. So anyway, you get these, I hear, it's all under your control. And then Justin Resells, who I'm sure he has like 75,000 subscribers. So you probably know who he is, but if you don't, great channel. So much information, but he just posted a video called How eBay Controls What You Sell. And kind of the thesis of his video was, yes, they control what you sell, but you still have control. It's so confusing and I don't know what to do. And so I'm frustrated. So I'm gonna end the complaining and just say, if you're in the same boat as me, if summer has been so slow and your maybe your August has even been even slower. Okay, give me just a second. If you are just really struggling through this time, I just want to encourage you to keep going. I do know from experience that consistency is key. Like I said, I'm really curious if my taking off the beginning of August is now I'm seeing the repercussions of that. So I do want to just encourage you to keep consistent. Don't give up. It'll come. This is hard. It's hard. I don't think enough people say that. It's simple. It's fun for me. I think it's fun. But man, it's hard. Especially that emotional roller coaster of some days are really good and some aren't. And and eBay controls what you sell, but you control what you sell. And it's hard, but I just want to encourage you to keep with it. Keep going. You can do it. You got this. All right. I think that's all I have to say. Make sure you like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hopefully, I'll see you soon.